guys, my name's Craig Bull, as Vice Principal at the Skinners Kent Academy in Tunbridge Wells in the UK. Here's your introduction to Edmodo. I think the best way to think about Edmodo is that it's a kind of free educational social learning network, and as you can see, it even resembles Facebook, which I think is quite a good thing for students in itself. Once you register for a teacher's account, you'll have the ability to, and the first thing you will need to do is set up your groups. As you can see, I've already done mine here, but you can click on the plus sign here, create a group, and go ahead and fill in the details here of your group. Okay. You can also join a group. So if you are a teacher who shares a group or shares a class with a different member of staff, or want to be part of a bigger group, then actually you can join a group, and I'll explain sort of the premise behind that. Because once you have set up your group, what will happen is, and this is a group I set up quite recently, it will give you a code over here on this left hand side, and at the moment the group is unlocked because there's a code there that you can enter, students can enter to join your group, and eventually, I think it's after 2 weeks, that code locks, and that means that no one else can join that group after that unless you again click the padlock and unlock the code again, and a new code will be displayed. Students will then appear down here in this members section. So when you effectively join, that's all you're doing is you're typing in the code for a group. You'll see over here in a group that I set up a while ago that once you do have your members, they're displayed here. Okay. So as you can see, it does resemble kind of a normal social network in the sense that you have your posts in your timeline here. So either these are all the different posts for all of the different groups that I'm involved in, and anything that associates to any of the groups that I'm involved in. So you give your 6-digit code to your students. You can even give that code to parents, so parents can be involved as well. There's a number of different features that you can have access to. The first is that you can send notes, and again you type in here which group or which student or which teacher you're going to send that to. You can send alerts. Now I think, if I'm right, that alerts actually pop up on the screen and notify them if they've got notifications turned on their iPad or their phone or whatever it is they're using. You can set assignments. You can load assignments from previous assignments. You can click on a due date, describe that assignment, and actually lock the assignment. So once that due date is over, students aren't able to upload any more assignments to that. You can attach files, you can attach links, and anything stored in your library, which I'll speak about in a moment. And then you've got the ability to create a quiz. And once you've created a quiz, actually you can load from your collection of quizzes that you've already created, or set a poll that students can answer. Once you have uploaded assignments and resources, they actually can be stored in your library. So obviously it keeps a nice organised way of having all your files in one place, and it does mean that they're always on Edmodo no matter where you are in the world, because as you can see, Edmodo is a web-based product there, and it does have apps, but it's web-based in the sense that if they're in your library, you can access them wherever you are on the web. But a really cool feature for me is the progress section up here on this top left-hand side, and if I go to my ITGS Year 13 group, you'll see that all of the quizzes and assignments I've set them and subsequently then marked, their results are stored here with overall percentages there, and I think that's a really cool feature. The great thing about a quiz is if it's a true or false answer, so you set what is wrong and what is right, obviously Edmodo, when they submit it, mark those questions automatically for you. If it's a longer type answer, one which obviously they have to type the answer in, it will be down to you to go in to mark that quiz and give them their overall grades. but like I say, a really cool feature there. Obviously, you can send your students notes and posts. These are some alerts that I've sent students recently about lessons that I weren't going to be in, so I was asking them to complete some work for me. And obviously, as you can see here, some resources that I've sent them about their upcoming exam. Students are able to comment here on their posts and on your posts. So if I go to this one here, you'll see that students are actually posting below. Now this is a feature which you can turn on or off, and you'll need to manage this feature just like you would in the classroom in terms of appropriate use of it and appropriate comments. I think the kind of responsible use of this is key, and for me it's about setting expectations early on. And to be honest with you, my students very rarely misuse it. I think I can count on a couple of fingers when this has happened, but actually, nevertheless, something to be mindful of. You'll see here that what I've actually, this group isn't actually a teaching group of mine. This is a group that I've set up for my house, the house that I'm the head of. And these are sort of posts from students asking questions to other students about things going on in Newton, or posts that I've made students aware of. So this is an example. Students are at the moment applying for leadership posts, things like head of the house, student-wise, or deputy head of house, or sports captain. And there are a number of students who were absent from the assembly, so I posted the PowerPoint on here to make them all aware. And as you can see, this young man has said, actually, I wasn't in the assembly, sir, so this was great that he was able to see it, and he was commented that below. And a number of students will ask questions of other students. So this is a student asking about the homework because they were absent from the lesson, various other things. So it isn't just used for for class students. You'll see that 138 members of that, which is a good number of the students in Newton House. Students have a slightly different view, naturally, but they also are able to store things in their library. I think it's called the backpack in the student version, which is again, quite useful for them. And I know some of my students sometimes will do work at home, store it in the backpack, and then come and download it and print it when they come to school. I think that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Like I say, a lot of the features that you can turn on or off, you can do over here in your profile section here. Once you're alerted of anything, it pops up here, and that's pretty much it. I hope you find it useful, and I think the best thing is to get logged on, to get registered, and give it a go. I think my students and the way in which we've used it has really developed since we've used it in a number of different ways. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks very much.